Okay, everyone, I just successfully unclogged my kitchen sink after many tutorials on plunging it. It just didn't work. On many tutorials about trying to fix the issue just from the sink, and it just wouldn't after hours and hours and even days of plunging it, and it just didn't work. So, thank goodness for me that I was able to come underneath my sink and really just be able to undo these things, right? All of this stuff is undone. But I watched so many tutorials that I was able to talk myself through getting even this thing off, but it wasn't the problem. I at first thought it was my garbage disposal, but it wasn't, because when I had these off, I put a bucket under and I ran water, and the water would come here, out of here. And I'm like, well, it's not the garbage disposal, so it has to be something else, because why, when I hook it back up, the water doesn't go anywhere? So what I ended up doing, I was like, okay, I think it's this thing back here. It has to be a clog back in this pipe that goes through the wall. So what I ended up doing was I took all of this off and I turned this one around, right side up, because it can just turn. And I just grabbed a pitcher and I poured water in it, and this pipe sat with water because obviously it's connected there. So that's when I knew that it was that thing that was clogged. So after more tutorials, I ended up ordering a snake, and I'll show you guys my snake. And you could even see, like, my sink has just not had water in it, and it's had gross food and everything like sitting in it because I couldn't do my dishes for days. But I got this handy dandy snake in the mail today, and I snaked it. And so what I ended up doing with the snake is you put it in there and you just shove. I just kept shoving and shoving and shoving. I thought I went in deep enough, but it ended up not working, and the clog was still there. So I felt a little defeated. But after watching a little bit more tutorials on that, I went ahead and I did it again. And so what this is, and I'm gonna try, because I have my phone in my hand, but I don't want this video to be super long because I hated all the videos that were so super long. You have to initially take this and put it into that back pipe. Now my back pipe, I felt like it had like a little cage back there when I first go in, and so there was a point kind of for me on the lower part of when I shove it into the wall where it allowed this thing to go in. And once it lets it go in as further as it can, you tighten this little thing right here, and you just get to spinning it. You just have to hold this handle here, and you just get to spinning it and spinning it and spinning it. And literally, I made sure, and you can see, like, I made sure that this whole entire thing went in the wall, and it did. It went in the wall, and once all of this went in the wall, I just spinned it for like a minute. I got really tired, but I spinned it for like a minute, and it was successful, right? So now my water, because the water that I ended up letting sit, it ended up going into my garbage disposal, but I let my water run, and it is fantastic now. Everything's running smoothly. There's no backup, there's no cloggage. And I will tell you that my snake, it had no food or nothing gunky, because prior I had used so many chemicals that it just like obliterated the smell and anything that would have gotten on the snake. So my snake came out clean. So what I think it did, I think it pushed it through, and I was able to just move on. So there you go. My video is under 5 minutes. That's still long for YouTube, so I hope you got through, and I hope you pushed through to unclog your sink. Just a mom trying to figure it out, but I did it. Yay.